April, but not every advisory. They meet once a week. But we do a lot of stuff in our advisories. So this is maybe happening, I think we have, I'll actually see it. I think we have 7 activities.
Okay, so 7 sessions.
Yeah. All right, and last but not least, we're about to celebrate our 125th anniversary. Again, something I stole from another school. There's some Catholic school somewhere in the world who did 85 acts of kindness for their 85th anniversary. And I heard about it, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool to do 125 acts of service. That's the back page. We're in the middle of writing it, so we're doing one for the upper school, one for the middle school, one for the lower school, one for families, one for departments. And basically it's going to be 125 acts that if your advisory completes them, I don't know what will happen. Something, I don't know. But like, when we were starting this, we were like, let's think of all these acts, and you can see them, they're weird. This is a draft form. And then we were like, you know why this is not working? We haven't actually looked at our enduring understandings. Like, we've been trying to just make this up without looking at what we believe. And we just realized this last week. And so that's like where 28, 29, and 30 came from. And they just rolled out because we started looking at our enduring understandings. And, you know, whether or not these are acts of service, I don't know. We use that idea loosely, but it's basically trying to get kids to spend a year thinking about these kind of big ideas we have.
So each student is to do 125?
No, each advisory in the middle and upper school, each homeroom in the lower school. It's a challenge, not everyone will do it. And it's our first foray into Instagram. So.
What if you did the parents and faculty also?
Yeah.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Thinking about buy-in into service.
Yeah, so we're going to do one for families, which I assume will be basically the parent body, and then we're doing one for that a department can complete on their own. So like the math department might say, we're going to do this together and complete all 125 acts. So we'll see how that goes. But it's just an instance where it's like, great, of course this is not going well right now. We haven't looked at the document that guides everything. Okay, so we have no time to process, so we are going to skip forward that. Actually, here's what we do. We'll do the last one. So take 1 minute of roughly 30 seconds each to share with a partner anything that's like buzzing around in your head right now, just to get it out. If you don't process, if you would prefer to write right now, you can do that. But if you want to turn and talk to someone just to get some ideas out, that'd be great. Go quickly and do it now. I'm Hannah. You good?
I know what's going on. It's buzzing.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Started a nonprofit called
First time I see
trying to think how we could perhaps incorporate that word.
Yeah, it's the ideal.
So that's kind of the system.
What system to place.
Celebrate that with our alumni.
Anyway,
Like, I was trying to kind of work people out here.
The national, it's like definitely a national. So,
If you haven't switched, do that.
Conversation so, or for our school, or the Microsoft, it's school, or excuse me, the whole school year. So, year round, and then I just work on this.
All right, wrap up that conversation.
No, it's all.
Just like our.
So I admit I'm going to fly through. All right. right, how did I come to see service as social justice? I'm gonna speak from the I perspective on this. It's being in a school that prioritized reflecting on one's personal racial experience. So I've been in a school that's done really hard emotional work for everyone around race. I don't see how we could have built a service program having not done that first. If you want to look at what we've been doing, you should look at Pacific Education Group's work. I mentioned in our earlier Glenn Singleton. You can see the protocol that we use to talk about race. We are not, that talk about becoming more perfect. It's just a journey of trying to do that, but we got a long ways to go. But race is talked about consistently in our school. We are a change school over the last 8 years. So that was one thing. 2, I witnessed how institutionalized racism and classism was made visible at New York Common Pantry. So New York Common Pantry is that K-12 partner that the first grade curriculum I showed is on. Okay, so here's what happens. Our kids walk to the pantry, they get there, they're anywhere from 5 years old to 18 years old, and basically what they see are all the clients of New York Common Pantry are 99% Chinese, Latino, Black. And so they walk into a place that's dealing with people who have hunger, that have hunger in our community, and all they're seeing is a representation of how racism plays out in the United States. So if we're not talking about that, they're going to make assumptions that it's actually not racism that's playing out, it's actually these people or those people's choices or those people's decisions that are playing out. So that to me was like, what do we can't do that. If we could just take kids in kindergarten into this space and show them this, and not to say that institutionalized racism doesn't exist in every space, it does, but it's such a clear representation in our city. So, I became aware of my own implicit bias. Definitely mattered. Seeing the hard truth that most of our service work reinforced and reflected the social privilege of the service learners. Basically, we were doing it for ourselves. And what a weird is that? All right. Unless facilitated with great care and consciousness, service can unwittingly become an exercise in patronization in a society replete with hierarchical structures and patriarchal philosophies. Service learning's potential danger is for it to become the very thing it seeks to achieve. That's basically what I mean. And this one's deep. It takes a lot of process. Social justice educators in communities of privilege, so us, thus face a difficult challenge as they struggle against norms of personally responsible, competitive individualism. That personally responsible and competitive individualism is the heartbeat of Spence. We are all about being successful in this world. And that's rooted within a larger socio-political context in which citizens are framed as consumer clients and participatory, strategizing entrepreneurs who are more concerned about personal achievement than collective sustainability. And that really resonated with me. So, great. So what is services, social justice, or critical service learning is also what it's called. It means doing all service work from a social change perspective. So it means developing partnerships and relationships, redistributing power, challenging implicit bias, and serving to disrupt institutional oppression. So those are our end goals for our students. You're going to get these, so I'm just going to go through what it just explains. Kind of critical service learning.
That service work from a social change perspective might be the language for the 12.
Yeah, great. From I already have it written.
So if you change the 12 understanding is service work is social justice work to, service work from a social change perspective. It changes for us at Spencer, but that is our goal.
Yeah, great.
Versus saying that all service.
Thank you for pointing that out. Awesome. Okay, so what we did is we basically took a look again at our curriculum through the lens of social justice. And I know you got to go to other workshops, so I'll say it very quickly. First grade, they're not yet to the point where if we ask them, what did you notice at the pantry, that they're gonna say, I noticed that everyone there was not white. They're not gonna say that. And so we thought, well, how can we get them to the point where they can say that? They have to, one, be processing their own racial identity. So we built a compass, which is built off of Glenn Singleton's compass, for basically kindergarten and first graders to say, it's a compass that says, right now I'm in a, like I want to do something, like that's my emotion. Or right now I believe something that I didn't believe before. Right now I feel emotional. Or right now, there's another one, or the fourth one. But it basically puts them in that identity, racial identity awareness. 5th grade, we learned about oppression through silencing and the fact that you cannot tell someone else's story. You can listen to someone else's story and record it. 12th grade, understanding just the history of oppression in New York City, it's all around us, and that we will build projects based on that. So you were going to create enduring understandings. Because we started late, I don't think we're going to have a chance to do that. It was going to be great and fun. But instead, if you grab the slides, you can do this on your own. And just share it with someone. It was just based on a misunderstanding you wrote. Now write the understanding. Yeah, it was going to be great. But instead, we'll just end there. These are 4 articles that have really influenced my understanding of critical service learning or service and social justice. So I highly recommend all of them. And that's it. Thanks for letting me rush through the end of it.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, I'm happy to talk to you. And feel free to up here.
What's that? Yeah, so we have about 130. Depending.